#1 starting lineup for the UCF Knights. It's a team that, like UCLA, has had a historic season.
Record with 71 home runs this season. It's the way that they were able to get out of that Tallahassee Regional with some clutch pitching.
Redshirt senior from Apopka, Florida. Looks at a strike called by our home plate umpire, Megan Raven. Evans, a three-time all-conference player, been a captain, beloved by this roster. That returns so much from last year, a team that fell short in the regional.
That rise ball from Tinsley, that's her strikeout pitch. So how is she going to set up that rise ball? She can set it up with a drop ball, a curve ball, a changeup. But when she gets those big swings and misses, it's on that rise ball.
Good eye from Evans, leveling the count at 2 apiece. In UCF's 4 regional games, they hit .280 and scored 17 runs. They have the ability to be explosive.
Big swingers, and you see it right there. That's a 2-strike swing, but Aubrey Evans, the senior, trying to start this game with a little bit of oomph to it. That's a big swing with 2 strikes. It's that momentum.
Evans lines the payoff into the middle of Alina Garcia, 1 down.
That's a great at-bat. It's exactly what we want out of your senior, to see a lot of pitches, make the senior in the circle work. And look, this is going to be part of the strategy for UCF. They know that UCLA is kind of the one horse in the circle, right? If they want to get out of this Super Regional, punch their ticket to the first ever Women's College World Series, they're going to have to find a way to beat Taylor Tinsley. And so a strategy I would absolutely be talking about is long at-bats. A lot of foul balls, taking a lot of pitches, get that pitch count high.
Kendall Yarnell, right back to Tinsley, 2 down. It's something that Taylor Tinsley has worked on this year, Kenzie. In fact, you could say she's sacrificed some of those strikeout numbers that people expected her to have this year to minimize long at-bats, extend her longevity into the postseason.
And that's a tough thing for a pitcher that has been a strikeout pitcher, to learn to be comfortable pitching to contact.
Strike on the outside corner to Beth Damon. Has been on a tear in the month of May. 4 homers, 11 runs batted in. Tinsley looking for a 1-2-3 first. She and Alexis Ramirez, affectionately known as Lefty behind the plate, so in sync all year and throughout the postseason. They have a special bond with the amount of innings that those two have been battery mates for.
You can see Lefty, she's going to call the pitches right there. Has the pitch comm on her shin guard, punches what she wants to her senior.
Whoa, look what I found, says Tinsley. And a little bit of emotion from the senior starter.
Well, it's no secret that UCF and head coach Cindy Ball-Malone is very comfortable using a full staff. The bullpen will be fully active, I expect, this whole game tomorrow. It is all hands on deck. And you just add to the fact that this is a freshman getting the biggest start in her career. Probably the hardest thrower on the staff, mid to upper 60s. She's going to work up and down. The drop ball is so key, right? We've been talking about the home runs and the long balls for the Bruins. Well, how do you neutralize that? Something down in the strike zone.
taking on one of the great leadoff hitters in the country this year, Riley Slimp. 3-0. Slimp taking all the way for a strike. Is lasered into the mid of a diving Aubrey Evans. One gone in the first.
Wow. That ball is smoked. Riley Slimp doing everything she needs to do in that leadoff spot, seeing a lot of pitches, and then gets a pitch that she wants to put a swing on. And this out is so important because now UCF can pitch to Megan Grant without somebody on base. And it's going to be those small of margins. When you're pitching against Megan Grant and Jordan Woolery as a pitcher, I need to make sure that I'm facing these hitters with no one on base.
Which is rare. Riley Slimp leads the country in runs scored with 93. She has often found herself on base with Grant batting in the 2-hole, Woolery behind her. 1-0 count. Grant, the all-time single-season home run record holder. First player in the history of this game to reach the 40 home run mark in a single season. Has maintained an incredible level of patience this year. Knowing often she will not be pitched to, was walked 4 times in the same game against Cal Baptist. Hitters count. And she draws a 1-out walk. And she's now reached base safely in 18 consecutive games, leading the country with 69 free passes. Woolery bouncing ball to third, backhanded and thrown across the diamond by Coco Jaimes. 2 down, and Grant in scoring position.
A little surprised to see Jordan swing first pitch there, especially she's watching what Megan is doing in front of her, seeing a lot of balls. There was really only one pitch that was close to the heart of the plate.
In steps Elena Garcia. One hopped to short. Evans makes 2 excellent plays in the field in the first inning. And Stewie pitches around a 1-out walk. No Tinsley in the first inning. They lead it off in the second with their cleanup hitter, Izzy Mertes. Tinsley threw 15 pitches in the first inning. Worked a 9-pitch AB against Aubrey Evans. And I know it's early, Kenzie, but it seems like there's a theme already with UCF hitters.
Yeah, there's a lot of pitches being taken, and so for Tinsley, she's got to see that and feel that very quickly.
Good pitch there, 1-2.
She's got to have that off-speed pitch, and now it sets up the rise ball. See a lot of deep breaths from the senior.
First strikeout of the night for
game.
to Sierra Humphreys. No, it's interesting. Tinsley, of course, as we mentioned, started all 3 games of the regional, was tagged in a big way against CBU in the opening round. Gave up 9 earned runs. And part of it, Coach I told us, was that her rise wasn't as sharp. We didn't see the same drop from her rise to her drop ball as when she's really on. Early tonight, Kenzie, it seems like all of her stuff is working.
Yeah, I've seen a little curve. Seeing some drop ball, of course, the change.
In the air to right, playable for Megan Grant, 2 away.
Her drop ball is her most improved pitch. So when Taylor came into UCLA, she was kind of a one-dimensional, I'm a rise ball pitcher, throw hard. And, you know, you have some roster movement in the offseason, and you're looking at what is returning, and she's like, well, I'm probably going to have to pitch a lot. I need to shore up my drop ball. And so Taylor went to Coach Lisa Fernandez, of course, the GOAT, and said, can you tweak this a little bit? I need a drop ball that I can throw anytime, anywhere. And I want you to coach me up, but I want you to coach me hard because I'm going to need this pitch. And she's thrown that drop ball a lot. And when you have pitches low in the zone, whether it's a drop ball, a changeup, it sets up what is her best pitch. It's that rise ball.
Strike one to Coco Jaimez, the starting third baseman for UCF. In the midst of their first 40-win season since 2023, their second Super Regional ever. The other in 2022. Hard hit to third, snared by Alejandre, and it's all across the diamond for another 1, 2, 3. 6 up, 6 down.
She was frank with us when we talked to her yesterday about where this team was in the fall and where they are right now today. Completely different, just because of all the newness that they had to kind of grow into that culture.
Speaking of youngsters, Alejandre leading things off for UCLA here. One of the true freshmen that has had a historic season. Top 10 in the nation in runs batted in. And could have her 23rd homer. Indeed! 1-0 lead for UCLA. And the record freshman campaign continues for Bri Alejandre.
Been 1 through 9. Anyone swinging big. Of course, the seniors are leading us, but freshmen with a huge statement here early.
Already has the single season UCLA freshman home run record. And has just tied the Big Ten freshman single season home run record. Tapper from Bragg back to the circle, 1 away.
Numbers. It is just ridiculous.
A few years ago in 2021 when Oklahoma broke all the NCAA single season program records, runs, homers. We thought then, will these ever be caught? And now UCLA and OU are going back and forth. They've already broken those 2021 records.
Being hit, you have to be so sharp as a pitcher to limit the free passes. It's the most important thing right now because your team can do the same thing. Your team can also hit those solo shots.
2-1 count to Alexis Ramirez. Beth Damon, who's done such an excellent job handling a staff of 8 pitchers this year as just a sophomore. Brief visit to the rubber. Could see 5, 6 arms realistically throughout this Super Regional this weekend for the Knights. Inside ball 3.
Think about this battery. You have a true
game by nearly 3 runs.
Honestly, what stands out the most to me on that chart is the walks. Leading the nation in home runs and walks. That is a very disciplined offense. I don't like that if I'm a pitcher. No, thank you. Don't even tell me that going into this series. I don't need to know that.
Sujin Berry over to second base, a flip to first. Stewie retires the side. First softball game she ever attended as a little girl was UCLA and Arizona. And she was hooked ever since. 2 hopper to Garcia, handled easily off.
Players also play on the same high schools and travel teams, so you always have that familiarity because Southern California is such a hotbed of talent in our sport. And so you have to credit Coach Ball Malone to be able to go into California and say, these are my roots, I can recruit here, and I can get you all the way coast to coast to come play for me in Florida.
Out of the box was Zoe Calvez. She's saying that it was foul off her bat. Ball 1 is Samantha Ray batting in the 9 spot.
lineup is a little unique in the way that there are some small ballers at the bottom of this lineup, and 1 through 5, the heart. Those are the big hitters, those home run bats. So for Taylor Tinsley, for her seeing those lefties, it's going to be at the bottom of the lineup right here with Calvez and Ray.
One of the California natives with dozens of tickets out this weekend to family and friends. Cindy Ball Malone estimated there would be a few hundred Knights fans in attendance this weekend. Two 2-1 from Taylor Tinsley.
And we talked to Izzy Murdez and Sierra Humphreys, both California natives. They were geeking out. They were so excited. Oh, my family's going to be here. I'm expecting 20 to 25. Some of my friends will be here. Which is what it's all about.
With and against some of the UCLA Bruins on the travel ball circuit. 3-2. Right off the mitt of Tinsley. And the third time tonight, she's fielded a ground ball to advance. And now just a couple of years later, trying to do it against the other giant of the sport. Hard hit by Jolena Lamar and fielded well in second base by Sierra Humphreys.
It just feels like UCF is one of those programs. It's just only a matter of time. They have been a constant in the last decade in the NCAA tournament. And it was so huge for this program to get out of a Tallahassee regional, of course, their home state, to have the rivalry, beating Florida State for the first time in their postseason history to get to this moment. So I want to talk about all the foundation, of course, our coach, who has been leading us there, but we did it for the alums of the past.
Full count to Riley Slim. Lined out on an excellent play by Aubrey Evans at short. And her first at bat of the night. 30th pitch for Stewie. Off the glove at first of Ashley Griffin, and Slim will be safe at first. Well, the Women's College World Series returns to Oklahoma City. Action begins Thursday, May 28th at 12 Eastern, live on ESPN. For more information on the 2026 Women's College World Series, visit NCAA.com, the home for all NCAA championships. Matt Schumacher, Kenzie Fowler with you. Megan Grant at the dish. Kenzie finished second at the 2010 Women's College World Series, falling to these Bruins, who, as you mentioned, have been there so...
Just one of the most classy coaches. Anytime I get to cover her program, she always goes out of her way to say hello and check in. How is everything going? It's always so much fun to talk to her as well, because no one loves up her players like Kelly I. She also has the best ponytail in the game, just throwing that out there. Generational ponytail.
2-0 almost caught Megan Grant. And now a 3-0 count to one of the favorite players Kelly I has ever coached. Not just because of the performance, but because of how she has led others along the way. Back-to-back walks for Grant, and now 2 on and 1 down for Jordan Woolery, who leads the nation in runs batted in.
Well, Woolery swung at her first pitch in her last at-bat. I don't expect her to do that here. Same situation, hitter in front of her. Megan Grant takes a walk. She's going to get some pitches. Just love to her maybe be a little bit more patient. That point there to her senior. They are so connected. It almost feels like they are one hitter.
In the last 2 years, they've played just one game in which they did not hit side by side in the lineup. That happened last year, and immediately following that game, they went to Kelly I and said, "Coach, with all due respect, don't ever do that again." Woolery pops up the 0-1 out of play.
When we were talking to Jordan and Megan, I was congratulating them, and we both were out and getting drafted. And you guys are coming to an end here, and they were like, "Don't talk about it. We're not ready to be a part." Of course, this will be their last weekend here on their home field. But it's so much fun to just see them hit, talk to them. Their personalities are so different, but just superstars together.
They'll go from teammates to foes.
Yeah.
After June 9th, both drafted the AUSL, as you mentioned, but to different teams. 1-2 count to Woolery.
Side part of the plate. She's one of the best, if not the best, right-handed hitters with oppo power. That ball was way off. See if that pitch maybe can set up something on the inner half, especially with a runner at second base, try and feed the left side of your infield. That's where Stewie was able to get her in her last at-bat, ground out to third base.
Slimp at second, Grant at first. 1-2 pitch. In the air to center. Drifting in, Ray makes the catch. Both runners will stay put. 2 gone. That's a big out for Ava Stewie.
Well, and setting up the changeup and saving the changeup for 1 pitch and 1 look. Huge out.
Lena Garcia had some big at-bats in the regional last weekend. Redshirt freshman from Pico Rivera, California. Pair of homers, 5 runs batted in, including the game-winning sac fly against CBU in the opening round comeback victory for UCLA. Should she reach, Bria Alejandre awaits on deck. Hit a solo bomb last inning, which has been the difference in the game to this point. (2-0). Rolled to short. Evans fires across the diamond, and Ava Stewie strands 2. Keeps it a 1-run game.
Too much, not the way that they have gotten to this point. They played very free. Outside of the first game against Jacksonville State, it was very tight. This team was down to their last strike. Came back, and after getting out of that first game, it was just kind of like, okay, this is what we need to do. We got that first W. Now we just need to play our version and be our best version. And that is with double-digit home runs. You see the power there.
Time called by Megan Rabin behind home. Corner infield drawn in here for Kendall Yarnell. 11th double of the year for Evans, puts the game-tying run in scoring position. Yarnell having an excellent NCAA tournament to this point. 4 for 13 with a pair of ribbies.
See how closed off Yarnell's stance is. Something that she's worked on, trying to allow herself to be in her legs more and feel her legs. Stands a little bit more up, but really closes that stance off, wants to hit the ball up the middle.
Battled through a dislocated kneecap last year. Primarily was the first bat off the bench because simply she could not move the way she naturally does. Opted for surgery in June and worked like heck to get back to full strength for this team. And boy, has she played a major role in the Knight's second trip to a Super Regional in program history.
It's been her breakout year as a sophomore. Completely different hitter than she was a season ago. Of course, to your point, battling that injury, was used primarily as a pinch hitter. So this is her first year starting.
Nobody out, runner at second. Fouls off the payoff.
It's a good spot by Tinsley, up and on the hands. if she goes change up here, high and tight, sets up low and slow.
You mentioned Yarnell and her stance, a little bit more upright this year. Feels like she can get to any ball. Started tinkering with it in the preseason. First at bat of the year, hit a grand slam and decided, you know what, I'm going to stick with the upright stance. Works an 8-pitch at bat, pops it up in the infield, and it's caught for the first out of the inning. Ball gets away from Ramirez, and wisely moving up to third without a throw, Evans. And now the game-tying run just 60 feet away with one down in the fourth.
That's just a pass ball. Ramirez, of course, a lefty catcher, just didn't get her glove there.
Now a fly ball. Probably scores Evans if it's deep enough from Damon. Knight's batting 300 in the tournament with runners in scoring position. Damon has driven in 5 runs. Lines this foul down the left field line. Good block by Ramirez. Damon from Edmond, Oklahoma, grew up going to the Women's College World Series as a little girl. Chops it back to Tinsley, looks Evans back to third, second out of the inning.
The drop ball on the inside part of the plate. We've seen now 4 comebackers back to the senior in the circle. Very confident going in tight to those right-handed hitters for UCF.
Mertes this year has hit .320 with runners in scoring position. Takes the ball upstairs.
Without a doubt, this is their strongest bat. Has the most pop. Home runs. And one of those sophomores had a breakout year. Got experience a season ago as freshmen, now sophomores did in the NCAA tournament, and playing spoiler last weekend. And found themselves maybe a little bit ahead of schedule with how young this team is.
And another one of those players for UCF from the state of California. In fact, she played travel ball with lefty Ramirez. Catching Taylor Tinsley tonight. 2-1. Line right into the middle. Garcia keeps the game-tying run at third base.
Would not have guessed that.
This is just the second appearance in an NCAA tournament game in Ava Stewie's young career.
There's nothing against Stewie and Tinsley. It's just the numbers are what the numbers are on both sides for UCLA and UCF having career years offensively. Look, I'm not complaining.
They used 3 different arms in the Game 7 victory of regionals against FSU. Third free pass issued tonight by Ava Stewie.
There's constantly been movement in the bullpen for UCF. We have a pretty good vantage point, and there's been a lot of action since really the second inning. The deep staff and Coach Cindy Baum Malone will use every arm she has. But right now, 1-0. Stewie's held UCLA in check. It's really just been the one miss to Alejandre, who we just saw walk, and then the 3 passes. That's been it.
Another visit to the rubber here by Beth Damon after 5 consecutive balls out of the zone by Stewie, who has fallen behind against the last 5 Bruin batters.
There's the ace of the staff, Isa Vega.
Ooh, that caught a piece of Bragg. So back-to-back free passes to open the 4th for Ava Stewie, and a pair of balls
down in the zone to Vega, who is upstairs with that rise ball. Key is also that changeup to counter that upspin.
She was huge in Game 6 of the regional. Won a complete game, gave up just 2 earned runs against FSU, and allowed UCF to get to Game 7 with a fresh staff. That's why they made it to this point. Did a 1-run game in Game 1 of the Supers against UCLA, and now Alexis Ramirez with a chance to do damage, drops down a bunt, backhanded by Vega. And who would have thought Ramirez, who's hitting over 400 with runners in scoring position, would drop down a sac bunt, but moves both runners into scoring position.
I love it. Old school softball, and it's what a pitcher's duel calls for. A pitcher's duel calls for you get them on, you get them over, and then you find a clutch piece.
Infield drawn in. In the air, foul territory, will get out of play.
That was a swing for the grass, and that's what you would want early in the count. Just get your swing off, see if you can find something, whether it's a sacrifice fly, something in the gap.
Oh, 2. Sujin starting in her 9th consecutive game after primarily coming off the bench for most of the year. Led the Bruins during regional play with a .667 batting average. Can she be the one to break it open in the 4th? Chopper, right side, only play at first. They almost didn't even get Barry. Humphreys really wanted to come home, didn't have time, and Barry makes it a 2-0 game.
Yeah, even though Humphreys was playing
for Jolena Lamar in the 9 spot. Missed all of last year due to an injury. One of the homegrown players for UCLA from the state of California. Offered at the first pitch. Seeking her first hit since May 8th in the Big Ten tournament. Offered again.
I'm just unsure on that rise ball. She didn't.
Bragg at third, 2-0 lead for UCLA. Bruins all tournament have created major damage with runners in scoring position. Hit nearly .480 during the regional with wrist.
Vega has shown Suarez nothing but rise ball in the hands. If you don't have a changeup, you just need to stay there. I would show her change low and away, make sure it's not a strike. But if you're not confident in that off-speed pitch, well, you need to stay right there and see if Suarez can get herself out, because a lot of these cuts are just unsure swings. You can tell that Suarez is not comfortable against the rise ball from Vega, and you feel that as a pitcher. puts a lot of pressure on you. The more this at-bat continues, cannot miss your spot.
Another 2-2. Outside, and after Vega was ahead 0-2, it is now full to Ramsey Suarez. Eighth pitch of the at-bat. Suarez down the left field line, fair ball. It drives in, Bragg, and it's a double for Suarez. 3-0 Bruins.
And just enough, couple of inches fair.
Not often you see a pinch hitter with 34 runs batted in on the year, but that is what Ramsey Suarez has done for this team all season, coming up with clutch hits. That was her first since May 8th. And now Jelena Lamar re-enters the game at second base. And ball one to Riley Slint. Third time through the order now for UCLA.
And now it does not get any easier for Vega.
UCLA has already plated 2 in the inning. And now a 3-0 count to the Bruins leadoff with Megan Grant, the NCAA single-season home run record holder, awaiting on deck. You swinging here on a 3-1 if you're Slim?
Yes. 2 outs. Her last 2 at-bats, she has seen the ball very well, even though it was out in her first at-bat. It was a line drive.
Takes the 3-1 and will pass the bat to Grant with 2 on against South Carolina. A run rule victory, the 28th of the year for the Bruins. And now Grant one swing away from tying Stacey Newman's all-time career home run record at UCLA. Sitting on 89 career bombs. Has not seen a pitch to hit yet. 10 straight balls thrown to Grant tonight.
The nation's leader in home runs is also the nation's leader in walks. And it's 2 things, right? She's so respected, so pitchers are being very careful with her, but she also knows her strike zone. So when the ball is entering the strike zone, look out. And when you're being mentioned with Stacey Newman, that's softball royalty. Not just at UCLA, but in our sport.
An unexpected strike to Grant. And now a hitter's count at 3-1. 2 on, 2 down. Looped in for strike 2.
What a pitch. That's the pitch that Vega needs, and that's the pitch that I was kind of waiting for in the Suarez at bat. Didn't see it, but we're seeing it now.
Fell behind 3-0. 3-2 misses inside, and now the bases are loaded for the NCAA RBI leader, Jordan Woolery. Career grand slams, 4 of those this year. She's batting .588 with ducks on the pond. 1-0. How you pitching Woolery here the rest of this at bat?
I'm not giving her that pitch again, that's for sure. Low and slow, and tight on the hand. See if you can get a foul ball. Use that as a strike. I'm going so tight here.
Up the middle, diving play at second base, Sierra Humphreys. keeps a run or two off the board in the fourth.
Had to have it.
UCF also unseeded. And holding it down for the unseeded teams today. Mississippi State with a comeback win against OU in Norman.
I loved watching that game just because it was so back and forth. All of the home runs, Kendall Wells popping off as she does. And you're thinking Oklahoma, okay, last at bats, here it comes. And somehow Mississippi State, big time win. Shout out to my broccoli guy who was in Norman. Spent a lot of time with broccoli guy in Eugene, so thought that the broccoli magic was continuing for the Bulldogs in Oklahoma.
Well, Taylor Tinsley's got a little bit of Bruin magic going on tonight. A one-hitter against this historic UCF offense. The best in program history. And they have been held at bay so far tonight. 2-2 to Humphreys. Towering shot to left field. And the Knights are on the board. A solo bomb to lead off the fifth.
Oh, look at the emotion. Can't believe it.
She is here along with her sister, KK, who played at Oregon, now coaching at Centennial High School in Corona, and many other friends and family in attendance for Sierra Humphreys. Can that spark this historic offense?
So special for mom Krista, who coached Cece in high school here in this state. And now she's watching her daughter hit a home run at the powerhouse, right? Especially when you're a California kid, you know what this is all about. And UCF hadn't played on the West Coast in California the last couple of years, so this team was very excited to make the trip.
2-1 to Coco Jaimez. These two programs have faced each other 8 times before. UCLA getting the best of the Knights all 8 times. This is the first time, though, they have ever met in the postseason. A strikeout for Tinsley. Second of the game, 1 down in the 5th.
When you're going up against, do anything with that. If she gets her barrel there, it's either going to Jordan Woolery with that weak contact because she's jammed, or it's a foul ball. Just so well executed.
In the dirt ball one, Ashley Griffin. The Knights, coming into the night, had only scored 7 runs combined in the previous 8 meetings against UCLA. Never scoring more than 2 in a single game. They'll need at least 3 more tonight to take game 1.
Tinsley wanted that spot. It's a little low. Working that drop ball, that is her most improved pitch.
She has thrown all but 2 2/3 of the innings in the NCAA tournament so far for UCLA. They have ridden her all postseason to this point. And she has not shied away from it.
She's very intentional with her routine. You'll see her after every pitch turn to center field with a big breath.
70th pitch. Down the right field line, and it's just out of the reach of a diving Megan Grant in foul territory. Last 13 games, she has thrown 67 2/3 of the total 76 innings. On the year, has thrown just shy of 60% of UCLA's innings. Up the middle, diving play by Garcia. Popping throw is offline in the form of Zoe Calvez. Heavy small ball at the bottom of this UCF lineup with Calvez and Ray. And inside and tight to Calvez for ball one. The last 10 nights hitters have seen a ball from Taylor Tinsley.
And so Tinsley's been falling behind in the count and then having to work her way back, and the home run from Humphreys and then that single from Griffin.
The contact. A strike to Calvez.
I feel like the bunt was there. Just could not execute. Jordan Woolery staying a couple steps around first base, so really not crunching in. Now, of course, with 2 strikes.
1-2 from Tinsley.
Every one of these left-handed hitters are those triple threats where they can slap, show a drag bunt, and then also swing away. So that's really tough for a defense, how they're going to shift, how their depth is going to be, especially when it's changing pitch to pitch.
Calvez from Orlando, spent her freshman year at LSU. Only played in 7 games last year for the Tigers. Tinsley thought that was strike 3. Instead, ball 2.
That's a good pitcher's pitch. It's a good take by Calvez, knowing her strike zone.
23 pitches already in the inning for Tinsley. LSU failed to make it out of their own regional last year, and so Calvez playing in her first super in her college softball career. 2-2 count.
Everything has been down in this at-bat, whether it's the backdoor curve or the drop ball. I've not seen that vintage Taylor Tinsley rise ball.
80th pitch of the night for Tinsley. In the air to center. Sends Lamar back, makes the catch, 2 gone. And Durant stays at first.
Feels good for Tinsley. Working your way through the at-bat, so many foul balls. And then you get to 2 outs, and you know where you're at in the lineup as well.
Are you going small here with Samantha Ray, who has hit nearly 400 this year? Or are you swinging away?
I would go slap or drag. Absolutely put the pressure on the defense for UCLA.
Chopper, tough play. Tinsley makes it 5th comebacker tonight. Kenzie Fowler with you as we welcome you back to UCLA. And that beans Alina Garcia. Issa Vega back in the circle for UCF. Came in last inning to relieve Ava Stewie. Remember Texas Tech last year won 2 in a row on the road at FSU in the Super Regional. Trying to make it back-to-back in the state of Florida, and that catches Bri Alejandre. Well, the free passes starting.
It's all about confidence. There's a lot of head nodding and positive words being exchanged back and forth, and you could kind of see Isa going, okay, I got it. Just trying to pump her up.
She has been the one to get the ball in the big moments. Over 61 innings and 14 appearances against ranked competition this year. Monster shot deep left, forget about it! Kanaya Bragg sends it deep into the LA night. And the Bruin Bombers strike again. 6-1 UCLA. Run game here in the bottom of the fifth. And now if you're UCLA, you're starting to think about a run rule victory with nobody out. And the top of the order looming just 4 batters from now. One 0 count to Ramirez. Ramirez didn't even put a full swing on that. Shoots it into the middle of left field. 1 down.
The free passes will absolutely be talked about for UCF. Obviously, a lot of ball game left. We've seen this year what can happen with just 1 inning, with just 1 out, but whatever the score is, it's going to be a point of focus in that bullpen for UCF. You cannot have that many free passes.
Four of the 6 runs scored tonight by UCLA have come after walks or hit by pitch. You just can't give this team extra opportunity to do damage.
Well, you think about the last inning where UCLA scored 2 runs, it was just 1 hit. It was that pinch hit RBI double down the line by Suarez. That was it, 1 hit. 2 runs were scored because a walk and a hit by pitch. And then 2 walks after that.
Barry ahead in the count, 2-1. Ooh, did Barry go? No. According to Anthony Small. Took a long walk out of the box, was fooled by that pitch.
I swung on this pitch. It was gone. It's a great pitch, and yeah, that's a good hold.
Comes right back, smacks it deep to Humphreys. What a rocket to first, gets away. Barry thinking maybe about going to third. She will. Throw, tag, not there. Barry stands at third on a ball tonight for UCF, a team that did not commit a single error during the regional. UCLA applying pressure here with a chance to end the game. Jolena Lamar, if she can get on base, the game-winning run would come to the plate in the form of Riley Slim.
See a change, I think, right here from UCF mid at bat.
Issa Vega has struggled to find the zone, and when she has, the ball.
But you're my right-hand woman.
No time for Miles to get comfortable, to ease into this relief appearance. Already a 3-0 count to Lamar. And that's a walk to Lamar. Runners at the corners, one down, and the potential walk-off run coming to the plate with Riley Slim.
I know it's not Megan Grant or Jordan Woolery, but Riley Slim has had great at-bats. Has hit the ball very sharply twice, drew a walk, seen a lot of pitches. This is a hitter that kind of asked for the pressure, right, in her sophomore year. Going through it all last year, and you know what? I think I want to be leadoff. Give me the heat.
I want all the smoke.
Absolutely. Let me bat in front of Megan Grant.
Such a big responsibility to set the table for Megan Grant, Jordan Woolery, and the rest of this historic offense. And she's done so with excellent execution, batting .432 this year, leading the nation with 93 runs scored. Nowhere for Miles to put her. Already 9 free passes tonight. There's a strike.
It's been nothing but changeup from Miles. Every pitch has been an off-speed. Hitters count. Sit it right here on this pitch.